Today we're going to discuss about the command find, F-I-N-D, and find is comparable to locate, the difference being that locate does not search in real time what you have on your system. Instead, you have to constantly update your database in order for the locate to be accurate, okay? But find, on the other hand, finds whatever you're looking for in real time, meaning if you have it on your system, it's going to find it. But locate, you have to be careful, because if the database is not updated, you're not going to find it. Or if it's already removed, but the database was never updated, you're going to think it's there, but when it's not. And of course, there's some extension you can use with locate command in order to if it's been removed, in order to make sure that if it's gone, that it's not shown in the output of the locate command. You can check the video in this section about where we talked about the locate command. Okay, so the find command has the man page for find. This is a syntax. Okay. Find is used to find files in a directory hierarchy. And this is the syntax, okay? Find a bunch of options, whatever, and your path or starting point, and then the different expressions, okay? Now, let's say you want to find, let's create a few files here. Make. So let's go ahead and create touch user 12.txt, okay, in the current directory. And let's go ahead and list whatever we have here. As you can see, we have user 11, user 12, okay, 11 and 12 listed here. And let's try to find in our current directory, so the dot, and we're going to search by name for user11.txt. And as you can see, we successfully found our user, the path to the user11.txt file. That's what we're looking for. Perfect. Successfully found it. Now let's by intention mistype the word user, some with uppercase characters, okay? If you search again, you're not gonna find the path to your file that you had earlier. So ignore these. These are for basically, that's because these are permission denied error messages, because we don't have the sudo the root privileges to be able to get into these directories, okay? But look at this one here. In this case, because we mistyped the word user with some uppercase characters, it didn't find that user11.txt file. So in order to avoid such thing, you want to include the I in the front of the name. I here meaning ignore, and to ignore the uppercase characters in your search string or file, okay? Enter. In this case, it did find your user11.txt file. Pretty interesting, right? Now, let's say you can also use wildcards, the star. So let's say, of course, you mistyped your user with some uppercases, some lower cases. User 1, but you want to display all of them that start with user 1, all those files that have user 1. Enter. In this case, it found 2 of them. So there's 11 and then there's 12. They both have this string user 11 as a starting keyword, if I could say that. Right there, user 11, user 1, user 1. So it found everything that has user one in the name. Okay, and the star here is the wildcard for you to be able to search for anything that has user one. Perfect. And of course, as a best practice, you wanna enclose your search term or string with double quotes. It's also going to do pretty much the same job. Okay, successfully. You can of course pass user 11. Okay, so as you can see, our user 11 right there. Okay, ls our current directory, user 11 here. You can pass to the find command. So you tell it go ahead and search for a file that has the word user 11. When you find it, please delete it. You gotta be careful with this command here, because when you delete it, it's gone. Okay, so be careful. So enter. So it's gonna find it and then delete it. Let's go ahead and do the ls command again, and you're gonna notice that user11.txt no longer exists. So we only have user 12, but user11.txt has been removed successfully. Okay, you can also find in the etc directory. Let's say find in the etc directory, search by name, find for the keyword password. Okay, you see there are these permission denied errors. Okay, that is because we did not run this as a sudo. So another thing here is you can prepend or run the find command with sudo privileges in this case, and it's going to ask you for your sudo password, and it found 2 of them. Okay, which is perfect. And also add the option of say ls command. Okay, that's a good one. So go ahead and find in the etc directory any file or directory that has the keyword password. Of course, we have to be sudo privilege in order to read those files, and go ahead and list those here for me. Enter. As you can see, we have listed those 2 finds. Okay, pretty cool, right? Of course, you can pass these other options to the find command. Let's say instead of searching or finding by name, let's say we want to find by type. And when you do D here, it's gonna be the your directories. So you're gonna search your etc directory by type. In this case, we're searching by delta, like in delta. So we're looking for only directories and their subdirectories, so recursively. Okay, and when you do enter, you see it's quite a lot. Okay, so we can pipe wc word count to see how many there are. That 360. There's these, if you count them, it's 360. So scroll back down. So it found 360 directories and subdirectories inside the etc directory. Okay, pretty interesting. Now you can define the max depth of your search. Let's say you only want to go 2 levels deep. Okay, no more than 2 levels. So directory 1 and then 2, and you don't want to go any farther. So only 2 max levels deep. And in that case, let's see how many it found. So enter first. You see there's a bunch there, and let's see how many it found. It's 263 as opposed to 360 before. So before we had 360, now we have 263. So 100 less, almost 100 less. Okay, let's see how many of these have permission level of 755. Okay, and then word count, let's count how many there are. 258 out of 263 have permission level of 755. Interesting, right? So those are the different options or search options that you can append to the find command and look for and find the exact thing that you're looking for. Okay, pretty interesting. You can also search by say your file size. Okay, let's say in this case the type here is a file, and let's say it's so size, say we're looking for anything that has 100 meg. Didn't find anything. How about 10 kilobytes? Okay, so it found these right here. So these are the files inside the etc directory that have a size of 10K. And interesting, right? You can also do the plus or minus to display files of size less. Say we're looking for ones less than 10K kilobytes. You see there's a lot of them. Okay, and greater than 10, say than 1 meg or 100 meg. How about 10 meg, 1 meg. So how about files less than 10 meg? So there's a bunch of them that are less than 10 meg, but let's say we're looking for ones that are less than 10 meg, but also the ones, but also at the same time also greater than 10 kilo. So we're looking for files that are less than 10 meg in size, but also greater than 10K. Okay, so the minus 10 here, and then the plus 10 there. Minus 10 less than 10 meg in size, and then greater than 10K kilobytes. Enter. These are the files that it found for us. Of course, you can append the command wc-l to it, and you know it's about 68 of those. Okay, so without the second option here we put here, the files that are less than 10 meg, there's a total of 1,584 of them. That's quite a lot. And files that are greater than 10K, right? How many of them? There's a total of 68. So interesting. So that's how you use your that's how you find files by size, and you can use the plus and the minus to define your interval, the range of your search by size. You can also search by the access time, the timestamps. Okay, the 3 timestamps, and also remember, guys, there is another video in this section. You can search it, search for it here. Where we talked about the 3 timestamps, the A time for access, M for modify time, and then C for change time. A for alpha, M for mic, C for change. A time, C time, and then modify time, M time. So that means you can also find, search for files by your let's say you're looking for so by access time or modification time. So type here your files, and then we're going to search by A time, the access time. Let's say we're looking for files that were accessed in today. So here 0 means So if you accessed it 3 hours ago, so 3 hours, you know a day has 24 hours, so 3 out of 24, that's 1/8, so 0 point something. So deleting 0 here, that's what it means here. So anything less than 24 hours, it's a 0 here. It's 0 days. So accessed in 0 days, and of course we are interested in those things. It's a lot of them, as you can see, quite a lot. Okay, and as a matter of fact, if you counted how many there are, you see there's quite a lot. 415. Interesting. Now you can do different things here. You can, let's say, +1. So all the files that were accessed, so A here is for access. In +1 here means 2, 3, 4, 5, right? The time greater than 1, +1. So 1 here means 1 day. So greater than 1 means 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. So those files that were accessed 2 days ago, 4 days ago, and above. See, it's a lot of them. Again, how about so greater than that, pretty much can do anything here. +2, +3, whatever, or -1 or -2. Okay, so not as much. ls wcl, okay, and -l ls. So of course we printed out all those files that were accessed in the past. So minus here 2 means less than 2 days, so that is 1 day, and anything under 1 day, so that is a few hours. Interesting. Okay, and you can also search by minutes, okay, not just days. So the last time you accessed a file or modified a file, let's say you know in this case you're not just looking for day accessed or modified or changed within days, but days being a parameter here. Instead, you're looking for things that were modified in the past few hours or minutes, or in that case you want to pass the command. It's pretty much the same as the searching by access time, but instead of a time here, you're gonna do a min for minutes. Same thing. If you wanna, instead of access, you wanna do m for modify, c for change. Again, a for access, m for modify, c for change. Those 3 timestamps. There is a video that I talked extensively about these, and look it up here in this section, and you're gonna find it, and go check it out first. Okay, so let's say we're looking for the files that were accessed. So a here accessed in the last 60 minutes. So -60, less than 60. Okay, what are those files? Of course, there's quite a lot, but not too much. As you can see, it's quite a few here. Okay, of course, these are some of them are permission denied because we have to run this as sudo the root. Okay, as you can see, there is those that we ran in the last 60 minutes, and you can do that, say last 15 minutes. How about 15 minutes? Only one. Interesting. Pretty cool, right? So yeah, that's how you find your files in any particular given directory, by type, and by access times or modification time, or access time modification, or excuse me, change time. You can also search by your say username, or group name of your user. Okay, let's say we're looking for in this case user root and ls, enter. So these are the files that it found that have that user root in them, root created by root as user, owned by root. Interesting, right? And see, so quite a lot of them. As a matter of fact, we can go ahead and count them. WC-L, 11,000, almost 12,000. That's a lot of them. And you can also negate. So not, in that case, you're looking for any file in this directory that was created or that is owned by anybody else other than root. So that's where we use the not, the negation option here. Okay, interesting, right? So this concludes pretty much everything about the find command, and I hope you learned something new here. And that's pretty much everything about the find command. It has a bunch of options. Unlike the locate command, again, locate is going to find things that are, or strings that are in the database. If the database is not updated, if it's not up to date, of course, that's going to be misleading. So you constantly have to update your mlocate database in order for the locate to be accurate. But the find command, on the other hand, is it does search in real time, meaning if it's there, it's going to find it. Okay, and it has also these different options. You can search by user, group, username, group name, access time, modification time, change time. You can also search by name. You can search by pretty much a bunch of different options. So this concludes your find command, and see you in the next video.